I'm good like this.
Hey, Frank, AD alluded to halftime conversations. I wasn't sure if that was led by coaches or players. What did you see at halftime that might have sparked that second half?
Yeah, every now and then, the coach has to light a fire under his team. And today was one of those games. We weren't given the necessary effort in transition defense. And, and with our pick and roll coverages, which we talked specifically about tightening the screws on, all day, at shoot around pregame. And it wasn't there in the first half. So, sometimes you have to let them hear it, let them hear about it. And, it was a spirited halftime, and those guys responded.
Frank, you went to Dwight just a couple of minutes into the first quarter, obviously stuck with him, played almost the whole second half. But what was behind that switch, and what did you think of his play?
Yeah, just the coach's decision. I felt like Dwight was going to give us a lift in this game, and I was right. He played terrific. He came in and really changed the game with his energy. Him in particular in that third quarter with his pick and roll coverage. He's more familiar with what we do. So he came in and just really set a tone with physicality, with effort. Communication, and obviously helped us on the boards. And you see his plus minus a plus 27. So just a hell of a night for him.
Frank, what do you make of the roles that Russ and AD played in tonight's win, and how do you lean on those two over this period while you don't have LeBron?
Yeah, well, we're challenging those guys to carry the load, until LeBron comes back, and. It's one of those things where I thought they were both trying in the first half, but we got off to a slow start. In particular, Russ was raising his hand about my bad about the first half, and but he flipped the script, he turned it around. He stayed the course. He has a great ability to catch himself when he has a few bad plays in a row, and get himself straight, and he definitely did that. I would say near the end of the first half, but in particular in the third quarter.
Frank, this first quarter, third of the season has been such a roller coaster where you have moments like this where it feels like maybe something you can hang your hat on and start building, and then it goes the other way. What needs to happen for you guys to use this as a building block of getting to where you want to go, and especially over this stretch that we're on?
Yeah, well, there's lessons in every game. You know what I mean? And, to show what we were able to do in the second half, like every time your group has small successes, those are opportunities to build confidence in what we're doing, in each other on the floor, your teammates, all those types of things. And, that second half is something that will definitely help us going forward. Our process is strong. With what we're doing, in particular on the defensive end, we're looking at our personnel. We're trying a lot of different things that are a little outside of what we're used to doing. And some of it's good, some of it's bad. And, we're taking the good pieces and locking it in. But at the end of the day, we've got a great scheme, and we've got personnel, that can execute it. And we've simplified and got down to the bones the last few games and just said, come on, let's just stay with our base coverages and get it right and do it better, do it harder, do it tougher, do it stronger. And, I challenged them, and it wasn't there in the first half. That's why the halftime talk was what it was. But it was terrific in the third quarter. And it shows that, these guys that we have on this roster right now are capable of doing it at a super high level. So, hopefully something that, our group can really draw a lot of confidence from.
Frank, we've seen Malik have some great shooting range tonight. He was 6 for 10 from 3-point range. How much does that help you guys benefit the team when he's able to make shots outside like that?
Well, anybody making shots like that is going to help your team. But what I just love Malik's game. Like his ability to make plays off the bounce and his composure. When he's penetrating is really good. His ability to finish at the rim. And then he can get really hot at the 3-point line like he was tonight as well, both in catch and shoot situations and sometimes even off the bounce. There's a reason why we brought him here. We're very high on him. He's a big reason we got the W tonight. And, he had a hell of a game.
AD said that pace really helped you guys keep a hold of the lead in fourth quarter when you guys really had trouble holding on. Do you feel like you guys are moving toward that team where you can keep up a consistent pace, even in the fourth? And in your eyes, is that the most critical element of holding on to those fourth quarter leads?
Well, there's a lot that goes into holding on to fourth quarter leads. You got a whole dissertation on it, after the Detroit game, about what's needed out of the other coach is going to change the game, that the other team is going to play with more pressure. Okay, they may switch their defense into a zone, and then offensively, you have to keep scoring. Okay, you can't come down and just try to let the clock run out, or take bad shots because you have a big lead. And, for the most part, we learned a lot from those lessons and applied it to tonight's game. Our group is, we got a healthy process. Our guys really listen, to what we're giving them, and they really try to apply what we're teaching them to do. So, tonight was a great example of that.
We'll take two more questions. We'll go with Chris, and then we'll go with Jordan on Zoom.
Coach, you've been dealt a hand that is beyond your control, beyond your team's control, dating back to the playoffs last year and even to start this season. I know it's always next man up, but can you just speak to what it's like having to go out there and you're being evaluated, your team is being evaluated off of basically wins and losses, but you're not able to put your best team out there, your best group out there. Can you just speak to that? What's that like?
Yeah, it's a challenge when you're in it, but you understand that every team goes through it. And, the great thing about our group is, I really have a great deal of belief in all the guys on our team. When a guy goes out, it doesn't shake my confidence that we have enough to go and win. And, that was very much the case tonight. Despite the slow start, and I felt all day, even without LeBron, that we had enough to, if guys played to their abilities and they put their mind to it, that we have plenty to get the job done. And, that's going to be the case no matter what injuries we have this year. We got a lot of firepower and a lot of guys that care and play with intelligence. And, I don't really put too much thought into when a guy's out. You know what I mean? Other than I look at the guys that we got, and it's time to go win a game.
Jordan?
Hey, Coach. Just wanted to ask you about your guys' assist reads. In that third and fourth quarter, all of Russ's assists came from him getting to the paint and then driving and kicking. How pleased were you with that, and was that something that you preached on in the third quarter?
Yeah, it's what do we end up with? 21? I'm asking our guys to get 30 assists. I want the extra pass to be a way of life for us on the court. And, 21 is not good enough, but, in the second half, we did have a number of great paint decisions, where we're finding the lob threat, we're finding a shooter on the backside, and we're just not forcing. The extra pass makes the game easy, and, we'll continue to, that's the key, to us becoming a team, to taking a collection of talented individuals and becoming a team is all about playing for each other, so we've been really emphasizing that extra over the last few weeks, and I thought Russ was great in that regard tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.